right, all right, all right. What's worse for Westeros? A bad ending or no ending at all? Unlike Winds of Winter, this stream actually has an ending. And if we go off track, it won't take 15 years to arrive. So, what's your gut feeling? Before we even start this stream, let me know in the chat, bad ending or no ending. But this is a Spork of Ice and Fire. I am Scott. This is our Tuesday night show. We're hoping now that the kids are going back to school tomorrow that we'll be able to do it every week. I'm glad you're joining us. You're new here. If you are new here, I need to use all the letters and vowels. Please subscribe. Also, guys, share this out so more people will watch it. And when you're done, when the stream's over, come back and comment. Helps out the channel. Tonight we have some usual panel guests or co-hosts. They're more co-hosts. We have the amazing Mr. Grant Gregory. How are you?
G'day. I prefer to say I'm regular than usual. So.
That's because you eat a lot of grapes, right? Grapes, though?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, sure. Thanks for being here. What do you think, Grant? Bad ending or no ending?
A bad ending's always worse than no ending. No ending gives you hope. It keeps no ending. Okay, let's look at what happened with Game of Thrones. It got a bad ending and it killed the franchise. They had 5 spin-offs that nothing happened. They had to fight tooth and nail just to get House of the Dragon done.
Yep.
And you know it brought it back. Like I got rid of my books after the season. Like, I was just like, I was done.
Yeah. I was trying not to blame him because really it wasn't him. But I know how a lot of people felt, and it sucked. What about you, Mason? Free folk of the fandom only needs how many subs? 20 more subs to reach 100. How are you, man? You can unmute at any time. Oh, there you are, Mason. What's up?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
As for an ending, it kind of depends on like where you leave off. Cause like, do you have like the biggest cliffhanger in the series and just don't do anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like if Star Wars, if you say like the Star Wars equivalent, like if you leave off at Empire Strikes Back,
right,
does it have the same cultural impact that it has now with 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3?
Very true.
And that other thing that kind of grew on it.
But that's a good question, man. No, that's a really good question. Has it ruined it? Man, my mic is like turning on. It's broken. Anyways, that's a really good point. I mean, has it lost that cultural cachet? I think that's how you say it. Or has has it? I don't know. I think, Mason, and if tell me if you agree. Because the sequel series was so divisive, that it galvanized the OG trilogy in the hearts of people. You know what I mean? So like, if he just ended at, are you saying ended at Empire Strikes Back or ended like at Return of the Jedi?
So like a Song of Ice and Fire equivalent, like where they leave off, Jon dying in the snow, Daenerys with in the Dothraki Sea, surrounded by Dothraki. It's all like set up, and then there's no like payoff yet. So the equivalent to that would be like leaving Empire Strikes Back, where Luke loses his hand,
but he gains a dad. So
yeah.
You have the big reveal. He knows where to go to train to be a Jedi Master, but he hasn't done any of that. He hasn't he's started his journey, but he hasn't finished it.
Right.
So like, if you just have Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, would that still have the same impact as, the whole saga?
Right. Right. Well, I put on YouTube, but we do over on Rumble, guys. There's not a poll, but you can put it in the comments if you're watching live on Rumble, which I like to thank you. We're almost at 500 followers over there. But on YouTube, I put a poll. Would you rather have no ending or bad ending? We'll close it in about a half hour or so. Let some people come in and do it. And we'll let it keep going throughout the whole thing. And we'll let you know at the end what the chat thought. But, we're going to get into it because I was thinking of doing like multiple things in this stream, and we might still get to, theories, other theories, but I also throw theories in everything. So there'll be theories in this too. But let's talk about what happened. So, picture it. You're at Worldcon 2025. George is up on stage. He's getting all the love that he gets from people because one, you got people that, and I don't know if one of you guys said it or I read it, someone wrote it, but like one is that he has a lot of like book fans, but / people that started with the show first in the crowd. That love everything he does. You have the book fans from OG 1996 in the crowd that he could do no wrong. And there are some YouTubers that were there that I respect, but they defend him wholeheartedly. And they're, even if they disagree, they're very kind with George. So he's not used to a fan standing up for a Q&A and saying, George, what's worse, a bad ending like the show or no ending at all? And I wish I could find the video of it, but they said people were gasping, people were cheering. There's some cringes, and George shifted and replied with a weary smile. Both sound terrible. I don't know why I did that as George, but I promise I'm still writing. The fan presses him. The fan doesn't stop there. Do you have a timeline? Or should we hand it to someone else? GRRM chuckles. Only I know the ending. You'll get it when it's done. Internet just went nuts after that. And I believe the fan may have also added something about Sanderson, and writing it for him. But everyone went nuts. So what I want to know is,
well, everyone's just going to hand him off the thing. It's like, all right, we got an author that died over in England. Can you finish off these last 2 books? Yep. All right, Sanders. What else you got? All right.
Yeah.
He's going to be like the dead poet writer. He just finishes everyone else's work.
Yeah. So let me ask you too, and also in the chat, was the fan fair or was he out of line? And how would you have asked George? Would you have done it the same way? And honestly, like in front of the man, I could be like, yeah, I would tell him, what the fuck, George? But I think I would put it definitely respectfully. But I think I personally would ask that question. Like when, it's been over 14 years now, George. Like 14 years. I was just starting to date, my wife and I were probably dating for about a year when the last book came out, and she bought it for me in November or December for Christmas. And I read it, which usually takes me like 2 months to read a book. I read it in like a week and a half because I was so into it. 14 freaking years, man. So like, I think personally for me, it was not out of line for a fan to ask that question. What do you think, Mason?
So, I think it's fair to ask, but I think that the person asked it in like a really weird way.
Yeah.
I keep seeing like little clips of it, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Is there a video of it?
I think so.
Okay.
There's some clip of the con. I don't know if it was
we
the
could
exact
find it.
question.
If we could find it, we'll play it.
But I've also heard rumors that he was like, I don't know, acting really weird on stage and was like, like he wanted to answer like every question that was asked, and was like kind of making slights at some of the other authors on the stage. But I don't know that for a fact.
Oh, yeah. We will have to find that out.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine to ask, like, how's it going working on this thing that, I've been waiting on, that you've been promising. You said it's almost done since 2016 or something
Right.
like that.
He's had the same page count since about 2016 or 17, around there, maybe 18. You're right.
Yeah, like if he just come out and said, I literally am rewriting the entire story because of what happened on the show,
I'd
we'd
have
be
his
like,
back.
okay,
Yeah.
we get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I can't imagine it.
2016,
yeah.
when you released Forsaken,
Wow.
Like that's crazy to think that's like nearly 9
Almost,
years ago.
yes, freaking almost a decade, dude. And that when that chapter dropped, I thought, man, we're getting this next year, maybe like a year and a half, because that chapter is still fire. It is like a psychedelic, warped, just wrong, chapter with, violence and just horrible things that happen between brothers. And I don't want to get into it too much, the rusty nail, door hinge. It's just a fantastic one. And if you have not listened to, and I think it's still on his page, Nerdrotic, reading the Forsaken chapter. And I did say a couple weeks ago I would do it too, but check out his, it's awesome. And what's up, Sherry? Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead, Mason.
So there's one line in the Forsaken chapter, and it kind of bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
It says, it's something like not any, or it's something like all the power of all the gods of earth can't do something, but it says gods of earth. And every time I hear it, it's like,
yeah. So what other gods is he talking about? Under
Well, no,
the
in fact,
sea,
he's
or?
saying Earth, not Planetos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Well, don't forget that was probably, every chapter that's a sample chapter will change a bit, but I've heard him refer to it, even though he does Planetos. He has said Earth in the past, but unless it's like some weird,
Also, it was
5,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
Forsaken was one of the ones that wasn't released. It was the one that was read, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we don't actually have any proper transcripts from it. We've only got what someone's written down.
Right.
Yeah.
So hold on one second. I got the video. So let's first hear what this fan says. All right. So let me X out of here. And hold on. Share here. Hey, if you're in the chat, guys, because there's a bunch of you, it looks like. Okay, maybe not a bunch. But if you're in the chat or on X or on Rumble, throw something in the chat. Let us know you're here and what you think. Here we go. So this is what George said. Come on. There you go. Or not George. This is the person's question. It seems like it was like a minute before they ended too.
Scorsese school, so I'm running into Martin Scorsese to hopefully adapt Sophia and have me be the next Lily Gladstone. But here's the thing, George, you're not going to be around for much longer. And this is a tough question that I wanted to ask. This is more
started it
this
wrong.
Is more directed at Brandon. No. Wait, I was wondering, like, how would you feel about someone else taking over and finishing the books?
Look how many people just protect him.
Not you. Yes. I hope so.
Look at they're walking him out. Oh, George is offended.
I agree.
What a punk.
Yeah, maybe start it off with listen here, you old cunt.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably not the best. Yeah.
You're gonna not be, and I understand. You can even word it better. Look, George, no disrespect. You're getting up there in age and you like cheeseburgers. You've been telling us for, let's say, 5+ years that you're at 3/4 of the way done with the book. What happens if we don't get the book? Or what happens if we do get Winds of Winter, but you don't make it to dream, you don't dream of spring? You know, he has said in the past that he will not hand it off. It's only him who knows the ending. Okay, so for the people that say Dan and Dave, he told them the ending, George told them a ending. He didn't tell them the ending. I really believe that. Because already at, you know, he gave them the broad strokes, but I think it was later on he was giving them, all right, I'm not going to catch up with the show, or the show's going to pass me. Let me give you guys some ideas.
Well, here's the thing. It was 2 days. They went with him for a weekend. When they brainstormed the rest of the rest of the stuff. If he already had his ending in mind, it doesn't take 2 days for him to tell them that.
Right.
I think he was working with what they've got to what could go in there. They said the three things that was their big holy shit moments. The things that George says he's definitely got in the book is Shireen's death,
Mhm.
Bran being king, and Daenerys dying.
Right.
And I don't believe any of that's going to happen.
Yeah. If anything, Bran might be the king until people realize he's not Bran anymore.
Yeah.
I can see Dany dying after her job is done. I can see her being the villain. I mean, you read the text and it does show her doing things a little by little that are more, you know, we justify because we know what happened to cause her to do that, like the slavers crucifying the children, pretty much telling her not to come there. So she did the same thing with slavers. You know, like we justify it because those guys are bad, you know, but she pulls some very Targaryen-esque things. But the show made it just, you know, bells, guys. Bells are crazy. You know, they didn't understand. They said they were book fans, but they didn't understand the source material at all.
They said they're book fans, but they don't have John Connington or Aegon now.
Right. Right. Exactly. I mean, John Con,
Basically saying that George says these are irrelevant characters.
100%. Listless Receptionist says, I could see Dany dying, but not at John's hand for her own mistakes. Yeah. You know, and John, you know, killing a tyrant and then being jailed for it, even though Targaryens have done that in the past. And if he does turn out to be a Targaryen, and then not even being in the talks as the next monarch, you know, like it's just, we got to pick the one with the best story. And what's better than Bran the Broken? What a dumb ending. All right. We're not going to be talking about the ending. That's
maybe
the show.
The guy that died and came back to life.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Pretty interesting story. Yeah.
Everyone forgot about it like a week later. But like with the books, so let's just kind of go why this has like, and we were off last week, so this happened a little bit ago, and it was in the fandom. People were making videos. So why is this resonating as a debate in the fandom? So since 96, we've waited and theorized about everything. Bad ending feels like a betrayal. No ending feels like an itch you can't scratch. But let's see why it's resonating as a debate. We, you know, fans emotionally invest in characters, choosing their favorites and who they're voting, you know, going for and who they're going against. We like to compare, you know, his work to Tolkien and Jordan and others, even though Sanders did help finish that one. And because of the way the show ended, we are waiting for him to clean the slate and fix it for us. Because as of right now, that is the only ending we have. Now, you have fans that have been reading since 96 that are, and George back then would go to fan cons that were, you know, 30 people. And he part of, what were they called? I don't know if they were the Green Men or what, but there was a group that like would, you know, initiate people in, and George would be there to initiate them. I mean, like he was very in touch with his fandom pre, you know, smartphone, you know, internet. Yeah. But smartphone really kicked off, social media and stuff. This was more, chat rooms and boards, and George was a part of it. And then a lot of us saw a change when the show took off, and George started getting, like you said, we want 5 more of your shows. We want you to be at this event. Why don't we open up a bar called Milk of the Poppy? Why don't you open up a cinema? Why don't you do anything but write the book? You have the people that will always defend him and the people that won't. Now, the people that won't defend him and are kind of backing this person are comparing it to the Jordan and Sanders ending to Dune. And like Christopher Tolkien helping out his father with those unfinished works. What does canon really mean, though? Will it be still canon if somebody else finishes the book? And social media is feeding into this. So what do you guys think? Would another writer finish count as canon, or splinter the fandom, which I think so, into a multiverse of issues? And how
it'll definitely splinter. That's the point. I think that's the thing. Like, you're gonna get the purist that are gonna say, well, no, this isn't the right one. It's the same thing we saw with Star Wars. As soon as George Lucas didn't do one, it's not proper Star Wars anymore. It's Disney Star Wars, or it's this. Like, there's gonna be. It really depends on what the individual person likes it or not. So if I love the ending and you hated the ending, you're probably going to say that it's not the real ending.
Right.
Because George didn't write it.
Right.
Like the first 4 seasons are Game of Thrones. Season 5 through to 8 isn't Game of Thrones.
Right.
Like,
that's very true.
We determine based on our own individual quality. And I don't really know if I don't think there is actually an answer whether that would still be considered canon. If it's the only source material that we've got, then yeah, like, I mean, people still consider the new Wheel of Time stuff the real stuff. It's not like people are going, well, that doesn't exist. There are the hardcores that's saying, well, no, if the original author doesn't write it, then it's all fanfic. It's just published fan fiction.
Right. What do you think, Mason?
Like with Wheel of Time, you had Robert Jordan's wife, who was his editor too, I believe, and like a whole team of people that were like double checking and triple checking all the things that were, going through the system, being written down and all that. But like, I don't think George really has that, I think it's kind of him, and then he, they say that his writing is basically publishable when he gives it to his editors. So like they're not doing much. They're not like I guess he has what are their names?
Elios and
yeah. He has those two, but they're more like
he's like his law masters and everything.
Yeah, they're his they're double checking everything. Yeah, they know the canon inside and out.
It's like, I need someone to get from Pentos to here. Is it possible from where we are in the story at the moment for them to get there in 4 days? No,
Right.
okay, I'm going to do something different then.
Right.
No,
I referred to this guy's eye color. What was it again?
Yeah. But like I feel like that's not as much.
No.
So like you'd have to find an equivalent to what Sanderson did. He was very nervous about finishing the series because he had only published, I think, 1 or 2 books, and he had written something like, "I'm a big fan of Robert Jordan. I'm so sorry to hear about his passing."
Yeah.
And then, Robert Jordan's wife reached out to him and said, "Hey, I read your book and I want you to finish Wheel of Time." He was like, "Well, if I could pass this up and maybe a better author gets it, or I could pass it up, maybe a bigger fan gets it.
Mhm.
But like I'm kind of in the middle of that.
Right.
You'd have to try very hard to find someone like that for George if he decided to.
Well, and the problem is Jordan planned ahead. He knew
Yeah.
the end was coming, correct? And he
Yeah.
made sure he had all the notes and everything. You know, it's pretty much Sanders kind of put it all together and added dialogue, you know, but it was Jordan's work with George. He's very close to the vest. He doesn't share stuff, I think,
Yeah.
with almost
Exactly.
anyone, you know. So you have a
Well, not
valid
that
point
he's
there.
got a very unique way of characters talking to each other and
Yeah.
interaction. Not just the words that they say, but why they pick very specific words and different things. I've never seen a writer that does dialogue and internal dialogue like George.
Right. He writes from the it's not a it's this first person something
It's
removed.
a first person with a third person perspective overview.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
really
like,
weird. It's
well,
like it's from perspective of John. You see John's feelings. He tells you his feelings, but it's not like I'm John and I am feeling this way. It's
right. It is, but it isn't. It is, but
yeah.
you could tell like you are seeing it from the character's POV, and it's only from that character's POV. So you're only getting that person's interpretation of what they're seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling. You know what I mean? Like, and George goes from
Well,
a
that's why the character of Stannis is so crazy how popular he is, because we've never got his perspective on anything.
right.
So
But he can go from a girl who just watched her dad's head chopped off, being held captive by the people that did it, most likely having to marry the person that issued that order, to, you know, a fat librarian up in the north, you know, trying to keep up with the guys on a hike to into the wild of the north, you know, with Sam. And then you can go across to Dany, like John Con, like there's all these different points of views you get, that he becomes that person. You are that person. And the way he, not just dialogue, because you're right, every word means something with his dialogue, but it's also the way he presents the world. You could smell the food. You could smell it. Like, you can see the person because he explains everything down to the stitching on his doublet or whatever, you know, like you learn so much, and you have to pay attention because from jump, you're learning things that are going to come back up books later, you know, so you have to pay attention. And that's, he creates a fandom that it is something that you have to theorize, and you have to have different conspiracies and this and that, because it is such a full world with a kind of sketchy past where you don't know if it's all true, because you're seeing it once again through the books of people that wrote it, not from the truth of what it was, but from the historians. So who, like the World of Ice and Fire, when that came out, you know, the maester that wrote that, what king was he writing, you know, during their reign? They have to take that into consideration because they don't want to offend the king. You know, like all these different things they take. What biases does that maester have against a certain house? It's brilliant how he writes, and I don't know, even if he leaves notes, that someone would get the essence of all of that in one. I don't, you know, if Stig was here, I'd ask who would be the closest, and he would probably give an answer, but I would want to know, like, percentage wise, how close is he? 50%, 10%? You know what I mean? It's definitely a hard argument. I don't know if I would trust somebody else with his ending.
And, well, the thing of it is, we don't even really know which ending.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know if he's playing some sort of weird long con game or if he's just done with it. Like, the guy's looking, he looks so old there in that clip.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's got like no gray hair. He's just all white.
Yeah,
At the moment.
with someone like helping him get up.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I mean, we might have to face the fact that it's more than likely that we won't get the whole lot.
Yeah.
Unless he's doing some big long con thing where he's writing both books at once.
Yeah. Which people have theorized. We like, when you're going through the 7 stages of grief,
you're bargaining.
You're at bargaining. Yeah. And I've been there multiple times. I take steps back and forward. I'm going to read a couple people in the chat. Let's see. The Guilt Man returns, and it's good to have you up top, guys. The Guilt Man he's running a 5K, and you can donate to it. It's up in the chat. I will try to find it and pin it so you guys can see it. Please help out and donate where you can, or at least if you can't, share it on one of your social medias. So he says, so just yesterday I finished doing a rewatch of Game of Thrones, and while it's not the best season 8, isn't as bad in my opinion. Yes, Dany becoming crazy wasn't great, but other than that, it was good. I mean, this is coming from a fan of the MCU and some Disney Star Wars stuff, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Books are amazing. So
you got more self-awareness than Dan and Dave ever did.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, you hit that one. Listless Receptionist. I think it's also depends on the writer who would finish, if that was even something that could happen. Riff Magos, one of my first ever subscribers. He says, to be a stickler, we don't actually have any ending. I do pity those fans of Hack Martin's books for still waiting for the last book. And a little later when we're done with this discussion,
we're waiting for the second last one. We don't care about the last one yet.
I don't care about the I want the second, even if that is the second. It might be the third to last one. But we're gonna play a little fun game because he calls him a hack. So let's see if the people in the chat, you gave me a couple of those. I won't even go into it, but Grant has something kind of fun, little exercise to try out later. Listless Receptionist says a different writer, if of similar style, could probably really nail some characters and elements, but not everything. Example, if you got a proper grimdark author to finish those parts, would be good. And then Riff says exactly, even though it was completed by Sanders, Jordan planned ahead and gave him the outlines and plans for his book series ending. There are other authors, Listless says, that write a ton of POVs, though. That's not unique. For example, the Malazan series has like 600 characters. I don't know that series. Do you guys?
I've heard of it. It's really big. It's like I think it's like a bunch of gods fighting or something.
Ooh,
that's like
I'm not 100% certain.
Listless, give me some more info. And Alberto, welcome. He says, do you think we're going to get Half-Life 3 or wins first? I don't know Half-Life 3, sorry, but I'm guessing you'll get that first. How long has that been? Is that a game, video game, Half-Life 3?
Yeah, it's one from Valve. They make a bunch of like really good games, and they only one and then two, and then
two, and that's it.
Oh man, it's like anime too. You get like a first season that like 10,000 people voted a 4.9 out of 5, and you never get a second season. Last game came out in 2007. Wow, they've been waiting way longer. Is the company still around, Val?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough. Alberto also says we just got a new VR one, so you never know. But it was a prequel. Well, we'll see, man. That's interesting. Listless also goes on. Author is Stephen Eckerson. Oh yeah, Stig has talked about him. It does have to do with kind of active gods, and it's a long series. I'm totally writing that down. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna dive for some paper. I can't use the pen holding up my microphone, but I got another one. Go ahead, buddy. What were you going to say?
So one of the comments said something, and it made me think like you probably would need a big group of authors all working together to imitate George.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, Joe Abercrombie kind of has a similar feel in his world, but
Yeah.
it's much smaller. It's much more like it's not like a bunch of different characters. It's like a couple like here and there, and then
Mm-hmm.
they kind of like come together.
Yeah, George, they're everywhere.
So
Yeah.
kind of like what they did with Heath Ledger finishing his last roll off.
What was that one?
The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Oh, right, having different people finish
Yeah.
that role. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. On a grander scale, even, you know, like, because you have it's a huge point. Like George, there's so many things. Well, think about all the fan theories out there. About the ending, which we're going to go over in a minute, actually. So we will think about it. You know, like as a writer, if you don't know exactly how the ending's going, like, and you know, the Azor Ahai, this, that, you know, no throne, you know, someone we didn't expect on the throne. Like, it's George will get us there in a way that I don't think any other writer could with outlines. That's just how I feel. Uh, and Lissa says, I was just thinking about Joe Abercrombie in the First Law trilogy. His character's work is awesome, but like, what would he do with dragons? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to read that. Kirsty Angel. She's an angel. Knowing George doesn't want anyone else to finish the Song of Ice and Fire. If he doesn't manage to, I'd be happy with seeing an ending on screen instead, and probably being completely disappointed again. Maybe not like animation. I think I would like to, if you're going to do it, like, let's not have actors go, like, make it massive through animation, you know, unless you're going to throw $1 billion at like 2 movies, 3 movies. You always have to have a trilogy.
Yeah. Could you imagine getting like the Attack on Titan people to do an anime for A Song of
Right.
Ice and Fire?
Right.
Like, and you know, they wouldn't like girl boss it up or anything.
No. But then also remember that was only like one castle, and then the mainland, like, imagine Planetos. Like, that's a huge undertaking. There's so much going on um all over the world. All over the world. Um so Joe Abercrombie, she says, would write an awesome Sander Clegane, but I think he would struggle with like a Melisandre. That's Joe Abercrombie. All right. All right, we're gonna move on a bit, but keep writing, guys. We'll come back to the chat. Let's see. So, what does this say about George's legacy? So, Germ says books differ from show, prophecies mislead, bittersweet end. Let's think about that. His writing philosophy is the gardener, right, versus an architect. So that means unpredictable growth. His fame brings immense pressure on top of that. So the Gardner aspect is he doesn't, he has a loose idea where it's going to end, but it may change depending on where he starts to see a character go. You know, a character that he thought might be there at the end, he could have killed off 2 books ago. I mean, at first he thought he was going to have a love triangle between Jon Snow, Arya, or
and
Arya.
Tyrion.
Not
Yeah.
Arya. Oh yeah, Arya and Tyrion. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so things change. He also thought, oh, I'm going to do a 5-year jump. Never did.
Mhm.
You know, there was so much that has
Well,
changed.
the Stark girls were going to go north of the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was going to be Tyrion that sacks Winterfell, not
Right.
not the Boltons. Like,
right. It was going to be Tyrion.
his original outline of everything that happened. Like, a lot of the stuff that he had in his original outline for when he was looking to do the movies and that, he's still doing them. He's just doing them in a slightly different way.
Right.
Like, what's her name? Lady Stoneheart's thing still happens. Instead of being killed above the thing and being turned into an ice zombie, she's now whatever.
Yeah.
whatever she is now. I don't
Fire
know.
White.
I don't know. I guess yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. A lot changed.
But the core points are still the same thing. Like when people get to certain points and certain things happen, they're still happening in both versions, the original pitch and the modern version. And I still think that if we want to get a rough idea of the ending, we need to look at that first initial breakdown that he sent out.
Yeah. I got like he juggles like world building with like this narrative integrity with it. Like, so it's like he's trying to stick to what this character would like. I am Jon Snow. How would he react? You know, um, how would he feel if he's told to live with the wildlings and, fake that he's thrown away his vows, kill his own brother who tells him to kill him. How will he act in those moments after? What would he feel? How would that change him? I bet you he didn't see that Jon Snow murders one of his own uh, black brothers because he needs to get inside of Mance Rayder's camp, like, and get trusted. Like, I bet at the beginning he didn't see that even after book one. These are things that grew with what he does. And on top of just his writing, um, he has fan pressure. Um, you know, he has other commitments now. He has his age, that must make it harder to sit longer periods and focus like that. I don't know. What up, Bad Takes? Let me ask you, Bad Takes, just jumping in. Does an artist owe us closure um to their world, to their books? Or do they hold on to artistic purity and not give us a piece of crap? I don't know how he's going to balance it. He's balancing legacy, deadlines, fan expectations. Like, there's so much going on. So should he, Tina, talking about George R.R. Martin here, should he prioritize speed for us fans or perfection for his art?
Perfection for his art. And all I need is the winds of winter.
I've been saying that too. I'll figure
As
out
long,
the dream of spring.
yeah, exactly. As long as there isn't a planned, cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
I just need one more book.
Yeah.
I just need it.
So this is the question for the panel and the chat. Should he prioritize speed for us and finish the books, or integrity in his art, and where's that balance? Like, would you give him, okay, the book is 70% what I expected, I'm okay with that? And how do you think the world would react if George handed us a 70% or so? Should he end it for us, or should he be, in a purist and not hand it off to another person, not finish a piece of crap, not even finish 70%? He wants to give us all the whole 100%. Where do you guys lie, Mason and Grant? We'll go with Grant first this time.
So selfishly, I want him to write a really quick semi-ending to this book and release what he's got.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can start the next 15-year timer countdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like he doesn't owe us a single thing. There's nothing that he owes us. But in doing that and not honoring the deal that we had as consumer and producer, it will affect his legacy. But if his legacy isn't something that he cares about,
right,
then
Well, do you think he does? I think
to a
he does.
certain point. I think because he had such a late resurgence in his career, as you said, like during the 90s when he was going to cons and everything that had 20, 30 people, sort of thing. And he wasn't a young man then.
Mm-hmm.
So getting all the fame and all the thing now, I think he's just taking what he can get. And I don't know if he's really thought that much about his legacy afterwards. He might just be content. And that would be the saddest part if he is.
Yeah, it really would. What do you think, Mason?
Well, if I was him, this would be like my biggest project. This would be like the thing that I'm going to be known for. My art would be bigger than me, So I would make sure that this gets finished,
Yeah.
Whether that means, bringing in authors. He's very friendly with a lot of authors. He, I think he like helped out the Expanse guys get started. Like
What
they
a great-
learned under him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because they were initially going to write it like together, and then George is just like, well, why don't you write it as a single pseudonym? Because you speed up each other really good. So that's when they came up with James S.A. Corey. So
yeah, so like,
but they didn't take his advice by having two letters next to each other.
Oh man.
I'd do whatever I could to get this finished. There's nothing wrong with bouncing ideas off of, your fellow authors,
Mhm.
or even lining up a couple people to say like, hey, I've written out this chapter, and this is my outline for the next 3 for this character.
Right.
Why don't you help it, and then I'll edit it or something, something like that. There's nothing wrong with having people to help you, especially when you're this famous. When
Do you
people are
think
begging
do
to
you
help.
think because he's this famous now, is it ego, or is it, like the to me it's the ego saying no one can finish this, or is it the artist saying, yeah, somebody can finish it, but it won't be the way I want? Like, is it, I think it may be both, I don't know.
When you're working on it, you can tell them like, no, this isn't how I want this to look.
Right.
You're not like just putting it out.
And Elios and Linda, that's it. Elios and Linda, who are like his encyclopedia of the world, Westeros, or Planetos. They have worked on other projects with him, going more than just, oh, that guy has green eyes, not gray. That, like, they've added some dialogue and helped him with that, I believe. So, I could see, like, hand them, Fire and Blood Volume 2, hand them those type of things. Let them
Absolutely.
put that stuff out, right, Tina? And then you just focus on the main story.
I 100% agree with that. I mean, as a control freak with OCD,
Mhm.
nobody can do it like I can.
Yeah.
And when I have an expectation of something, I know the level it is. And someone can do something absolutely amazing and creative, but that wasn't my vision.
Right.
It's missing me in whatever that final product is. So I'm definitely the no ending over a bad ending.
Right. And then put this on top of it. You are the creator god of this world.
Hmm.
Like, there's a responsibility and also like a selfish desire to want to finish it yourself,
Exactly.
and he did plan just a trilogy of books, but like we said, he's a gardener. It just expanded, and it's gotten so expanded that he's kind of put himself in a couple corners, mostly with the Marinese Knot, Dany and Essos, getting them, he was going to have her go to a shy, but, and then we were supposed to see a flashback at least. I don't even know if we'll get that, from like
Hmm.
Melisandre or somebody, or, the Archmaester that's going to see Dany, like, there's so much that also is unanswered. And how could he, there's so much to be wrapped up. I can't even see him doing outlines. Like, the outline would be insane for somebody. That, you know what I mean? And then you have the dialogue and the world building and the environment. It's so much. Listless Receptionist says, if I am not getting any more books, I would personally want a Robert's Rebellion show or series because I know the people in it. I don't care about more ancient history. She said movie or series rather. Integrity, but I would say if we don't get the Winds of Winter by 2030, we probably ain't getting it. How old is George if it was 2030? Can someone look that up? What's his age now? Because that's 5 years. And I think he's in his past 75, right?
I think he's 76 off the top of my head. That's my guess.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, and Tina donated to the Guiltman Returns 5K. So yeah, I'll get the link, guys, and pin it. I'm sorry, I'll do that right now, and then we'll take a look at what Christopher said in the chat and Kirsty.
He will be 82 in 2030.
82.
He is currently 76 now.
82. Dang. Well, Paul McCartney's still jamming. And that's like an every night thing, you know?
Yeah,
that's
true.
crazy. So what is Christopher Poston says, ideally set aside some time to compile a world book style overview of his planned ending. Gaps are okay, contradictions, etc. Just have that so that however far he makes it, fans can get some closure. I like that, Christopher. Like, okay, maybe he doesn't hand it off, and maybe he doesn't give us a Dream of Spring. Please give us a Winds of Winter. At least give us, like he's saying, like a overview outline of what his plan, like what was planned for that last book. And we got enough fans that can create a book from that. I mean, I don't know if anybody, Preston Jacobs, he's doing a series. It's like it's a group thing where he'll put out like, okay, we're doing Mercy, the next Mercy sample chapter. We're going to do the next Mercy chapter. Give me what you guys think would happen. They send the information to him. I don't know if they do something on, over a stream or like not a stream, but like Zoom or something, but he compiles it. He thins it out, he rewrites it, and then he puts it out on YouTube, and the chapters are really good. So there are people out there that can finish it if we had enough information.
That's just the problem.
Yeah, I know. I know. I mean, he writes on, what is it? It's like a Commodore 64 almost. It's like it's a electrified typewriter process type thing. I can't remember what he writes on, but it's like DOS screen, like,
yeah.
I bet you, like, he's like, yeah, I am 3/4 of the way done. And he's like, oh shit, it died. And I don't have enough floppy disks back up, like, and that's why he had to rewrite it. Kirsty Angel says, might have asked this before, but has anyone read the fanfic written ending? The North remembers. It's meant to be really good.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
It's something you could read. It's not like an audio thing.
They've got both.
Oh, great. I will check the audio out.
Yeah, so it's about 11 hours worth. So
76. Oh my God. And he looked it. I mean, it was hard to see in that video, but like someone's getting old when the hunch is starting to happen and they have to help him out of his chair. Like, at least he knew what direction to go in. So he beat one of our presidents, but like, it's just a lot to ask for a guy who's 76. I mean, even just to sit there and like every day focus on, man, son of
yeah, I mean, well, he's a year older than my dad, and I mean, our last family outing, it was probably Mother's Day, Father's Day, I can't remember which, and I really kind of paid attention. He took my sister's little 12-pound dog out for a walk, and I'm like, oh man, have I never really paid attention to the fact that, I mean, it was the first time I saw him walk with a cane.
Yeah.
And then he kind of had that waddle, and the back starting to hunch. I'm like, oh, geez. Wow. I mean, because I forget. I mean, obviously my parents are, in their mid-70s because I'm in my mid-50s, but you
Yeah,
kind of the math just doesn't work that way. I still think of them as, maybe in their early 60s grandparents, not,
right.
their
And it
age
happens
now. So
overnight too. It happens
yeah,
overnight. It's
absolutely.
crazy. And you know, yeah, that's nuts to think about. He's up there so far. Like I pray he lives to 150, like
Oh, of course.
um there are people out there that are just so angry they don't give a crap anymore about the man's life. But I want him, to live, a good ending. But he's uber rich. He could probably get like awesome blood transfusions, nano, robots in his heart. I don't know.
Was it adrenochrome
Yeah,
or
the
whatever
adrenochrome. Yeah, yeah. Just ask, one of Oprah. She probably has a ton of that shit. That's on
exactly. And
her.
I want him to get the praise of an ending too, for him to be
Yes.
able to hear the fact that yes, we waited, George, and it was worth it
Yeah.
because
But
this is amazing.
and that kind of goes back to what Grant said. He's been working in either Hollywood or writing books since the late 60s, early 70s. And he didn't hit it big until really like, yeah, the series had a good following, but it wasn't or the book series, but it wasn't until the HBO show where
Mhm.
that's now how long ago did that come out? Start, I think it was 2010, maybe 11 around there. 2010, I believe, was the first season. So, that's 15 years ago. So what was he, 61? Getting that much accolades and income and everything. Dude, he dove into it. He loved it. And I
Well, yeah,
can't.
he was 4 or 5 years away from retirement, and then
Yep.
now, and then basically his job just started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's one of those things where it's like he saw, and I know he doesn't have kids. I'm pretty sure no stepchildren or anything, but he wants to leave. He has a legacy outside of the book world. I mean, his hometown he has revitalized that place with, you know, restaurants and bookstores and the cinema and a train. I think like he's put it on the map. So like he's done a lot in that 15 years. um, he just hasn't finished any other book. Yeah, it's awesome. Um, oh, totally. It's great for everyone if he finishes his greatest work. Yeah, it's great for him. Like he got those accolades, and for a good first 8 years, everybody was just in love. From 2010 to 2018, that's when the rumbles really started. We started talking about, are we going to get it? Oh, it's 2016, but like 2018, that was the turning point for a lot of people. And then I think that's when the show came out with season 8 around there. Right after that, it got even worse for him with fans. And now even the people that defended him, it's only the true diehard, George is this golden god on a pedestal that defend him wholeheartedly. Most people have come to terms to degrees of, okay, this has gone too far. But
Yeah. I mean, I think it hurt people for COVID to end and there not be some sort of an announcement that says, these 2 years where we were locked up, I was
yeah.
afraid of my health. I'm not young. I'm not the
Yep.
most physically fit person in the world. And I'm like 75% done, or I'm 90%
Hmm.
done. Yeah, we got some stuff to clean up and the editors got to do their thing and yada, yada. But, we're on the way.
Well, and that was it too. Right after that, was it New Zealand Worldcon? That's when I was just like, okay, forget it. Like I can't defend this anymore. He promised, and once again fell through. He promised a finished book, maybe not the, edit and everything, but the finished manuscript by the time he went there. But we'll move on because we always have to talk about theories, even though we talk about the same ones over and over. But if GRRM ends it his way, what does it look like? So let's take a look at some of the kind of ending theories we have. and we'll lighten it up a bit because it's gotten dark with his death and stuff. So first, Azor Ahai and the Prince That Was Promised. Azor Ahai might be a person, a role multiple characters inhabit, or a metaphor for costly choices. He's born of salt and smoke, a bleeding star comet, forging Lightbringer. You could take that literally. That points you towards sacrifice scenes. Take it figuratively, it points you towards characters who trade love for duty. John's death and return, Dany's pyre and dragons, even it's the composite of the realm. Reading, it's like everything's on the table. So who fits that best? The signs. Is it John, Dany, no one, somebody else? Because it could be no one, because prophecies are misleading. If Lightbringer is a metaphor, what act becomes the blade? Is it the dragons? The throne destroying, the wall getting sealed? So Dany, John, metaphor, neither. What do you guys think? We'll start with Mason. You haven't talked in a bit.
All right. I kind of think that the Azor Ahai prophecy is not just one person. I kind of think it's, I don't know, 2, 3, something like that. Probably 3. I feel like I'm a big fan of Euron being the darker half of the Azor Ahai prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
That he will actually take control of the dragon. And then you'll have Dany and John on the other two. There's a lot of people that could end up being one of the Azor Ahai figures.
A lot of people fill that description.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So what about you, Grant?
Sorry, what was the question again?
So Azor Ahai, if it ends with like that, in
hot pie.
Hot pie fits it. Could it be John, Dany?
I still don't think Azor Ahai is the Prince That Was Promised. I still think they're two different.
I do too.
Things.
I do too.
I think Azor Ahai, the Prince That Was Promised, are both 2 of the 3 heads of the dragon.
Mm-hmm. And is the what is the last hero, the final hero? Is it last?
Yeah, it could be the last hero. And I think that's the third one. And I think it's going to be made up of someone that's morally good and incorruptible, someone who's completely corruptible, and someone who's in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Because the world that he's written is a world of grey characters.
Right.
So the idea of Euron doing that, would make a lot of sense. If the threat from the north is as severe as it's been made out to be, hopefully, and it's not just 30 to 40 minutes of a Battle of Winterfell in the dark, you would need the forces of like Euron to do it. Like if he's got a Kraken, which it's just like they're like, dude, I know you really want to get rid of Old Town and everything. How about you come up and get an older town first, and then you can go back and smash them.
Right. Right. Yeah, but with a Kraken, you'd be like, come closer. No, come closer. Like, get near the water. But I could see, like, and we also told like bittersweet, blah blah blah. But Azor Ahai, is not a hero. Azor Ahai is someone who sacrificed his love. Like I know that's going to be a twisted truth if we ever find out what Azor Ahai really did. You know what I mean?
Well, they say it was the thing of it was the whole point of the Nissa thing was it was someone who had a lot of feelings and a lot of love for the person. Mm-hmm. I think they can get away with doing the same thing, but have it the sword be plunged into Catelyn.
Yes.
And be pulled out because she's definitely taken that life force that's left out of her and putting it into the blade.
Yeah. And she's she's a fire white, so that fire literally can.
That's what I'm saying. Like it could work. It's not necessarily love that did
Mhm.
it. It's not a loving act. It's
Yeah.
it's an emotional. So it's I could
Yeah,
see that.
and let's not forget, if it is a Valerian steel that was used, Dragonfire was used to create it, probably blood sacrifice too. That if if John, let's just say, takes Longclaw through Lady Stoneheart's chest, and that magical moment of the fire could connect with that sword and become one. I can see that definitely happening.
And I could see her sacrificing her life force. The only motherly
Mm,
act she has with John
yeah.
is, I treated you horrendously your entire childhood,
Yep.
but this is a sacrifice, something I'm going
Right.
to do
Or
for you.
or even if she's not doing it for him, she knows he could be the one that can save her actual children. So
True.
she sacrifices herself. I could see that. Yeah. All right. So what about the wall, the north, the others? The wall isn't just ice, it's a pact, it's memories, it's magic. End game range from, could it be a cataclysmic collapse, Horn of Winter, broken wards, to rewarding it with greener magic through Green Seers and the Children, maybe Bran. Um, like a genuine bittersweet option. The wall survives, but it redefines, like the free folk integrity, and the watch become an international order that guards balance rather than kills monsters. I don't know. And the others are, I don't know.
See, I think,
Contaminant.
I think
Go
I
ahead.
think one interesting theory that is about Euron being the one that actually brings the wall down by not destroying it, by literally just turning it back to water. So now you've got that whole area that's been completely flooded.
Oh my God. Yeah. It would be like a tsunami.
Mm-hmm.
I
Wow.
mean,
Yeah.
you think about how, I don't know how wide it is, but it's wide enough for, like, at least the way it shows, like 5 or 6 guys easily in a pathway across, and then also a little bit more above that. And then it's 700 feet tall and how many miles long? That would be a lot of water. It would change
Yeah,
the whole planetos. The continents would be different.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think that would be an interesting way in which he could,
Yeah.
a seafaring house could becoming, more powerful again.
Yeah. Real quick. Dega
Also,
Outlaw. Sorry.
nice.
What were you going to say?
I said also it gives the Kraken an easier path up
Yeah, it
north.
definitely does.
Really?
Dega Outlaw, once again. He is a supporter of the channel. Thank you, brother. He's for $5. He says, late fee paid. You are, I can maybe, I don't know, give you a receipt or something for your taxes. Thank you, buddy. I like Kirsty Angel calls it the hammer of the waters. That would be awesome.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So do you guys think the wall should fall? And if it does, should it be reforged? Or is it irrelevant after the fact?
I think the wall
I think it
should
needs to come down.
fall, and agreed. I think the wall should fall, and the fan fiction that I've seen that I've appreciated the most out of the ones I've either watched on YouTube or read or whatnot, is where the Isle of Faces is like a battle of the gods. It's R'hllor, it's the other, it's the old gods, it's the seven. Everybody is there and kind of fighting it out for control of Planetos.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
the
each
seven's
one,
fake anyways, though.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, there's one person who's like the champion for each of the different gods,
I
and
see what
they're
you're saying.
literally, and it's not just a physical fight either. It's a mystical.
Yeah, mental
Yeah,
gymnastic type
exactly.
thing. Yeah, because you could have like Euron with the drowned god or his own god, because that's what he's trying to do. You can have Bran for the old gods in a way, or the great other. Maybe John's the old gods. Melisandre for R'hllor. That would be kind of interesting. Yeah, what would the Night's Watch do? Like, you know,
They would watch. They would
yeah,
witness.
like if the wall comes down and it's, or it just doesn't matter anymore. It's just okay. The wall. We don't need to protect the Westeros from the others, and the White Walkers. Do they just become like toll booth guys?
The
No?
North becomes a tourist trap.
Yeah, something like that. um, let's see if anybody had anything to say about this. Christopher says, I have the idea that the Song of Ice and Fire prophecies are actually as specific as they can be, but they always describe multiple events, so vague language is unavoidable. The metaphor have to work on many levels. I agree that the prophecies, most prophecies actually come true, just never in the way people thought it would. It's one of those things where you look back, and I don't know if the prophecy, what did the prophecy actually make somebody create that because they read it, or it's an actual prophecy? I don't know, but it'll turn out to be something that um people didn't see, like Azor Ahai actually being a villain or something weird like that. 11 Alpha says the height of the wall is one of those areas where I think George is as bad at math as JKR. um I don't think the whole thing needs to fall, maybe a breach. Yeah. Okay, so then we got Dany. uh you know Book Dany carries kind of like competing duties. She's the breaker of chains, keeps order, claims her birthright, doesn't want to be in her father's shadow, wants nothing to be like her brother Viserys, but wants to be like Rhaegar. She's the mother of dragons, fire and blood, but she wants to have peace. Like, you know, her, I don't know, her dragons could be justice, or it could escalate things. So what's the ending for her? Savior with a cost. She stops the long night, but loses rule or life. Reformer destroys the wheel by uh, delegitimizing personal monarchy in favor of like a council. Or she the fuse. Her fire wins the day, but forces you know, a new political side to come up and actually like squash her dreams of ruling. Or is she just a crazy person that hates spells?
I think it
This
would
is
be
not,
interesting if Aegon took over the city and was a good king and was beloved,
yeah, I'm
and
with you on this one.
and then she comes in and she just completely decimates everything like that.
Or she
Maybe he
kills him because
does
she listens to Quaithe and the prophecies that
yeah,
the paper dragon from the House of the Undying. He's not a real Targaryen, but he
Yeah,
ends up
yeah.
actually being one. It's her
Mm.
nephew.
Mhm.
yeah. I think John Con is gonna frame Daenerys. He's gonna get the wildfire, and for some reason, she's gonna try and burn him, and it's
Yeah.
gonna set off
Or
city.
John Con, she realizes John Con is causing an outbreak of grayscale and takes him and whoever's in that section of the city out to protect everybody. But then is looked at because John Con, if Aegon was king, John Con's this beloved hand of the king. Maybe, the people don't realize what she actually did and they see her as a villain,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So I don't know. The
Or
political
maybe there are
ending.
maybe there are wildfire caches everywhere, and
Yeah.
Daenerys is set up.
Yeah. And they know she'll
Because
strike
remember,
with
we got
fire somewhere.
who do we have that's there that we know he's a very cunning person with him. So at
Varys,
the moment, and you also got Tyrion, who literally said
Yep.
he wants to
Burn.
watch them all burn. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
But there is, I don't know if it's I think it's book, like, it's a different color than the actual dragon fire, I believe. So like, but people won't realize that, like there will be certain people that know the truth, but once the populace believes something, it's mob rule if you try to fight that. So Yeah, you have.
It's true. I mean, if you don't have someone like in the TV series like Cersei setting off the wildfire, have people ever seen wildfire being burned?
Right. Right. I mean, it's been.
Or Battle of the Blackwater Bay. So
Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh
Everybody in the
yeah,
city
forgot
saw
about
that.
that.
Yep. No,
Forgot about
true.
that.
All right. So politically, I kind of touched on it, but where will it end? You have the throne destroyed. Oh, geez. The throne destroyed. Okay. So that's like, if they do that, it's a symbolic end to that conquest politics, regional autonomy with a standing winter council, or some type of council of all representatives from each area of the seven kingdoms, or do they like elect a monarch, or like a something where someone rules, but it's not by lineage, it's by this one dies, we vote in another, maybe with a great
So
council every time.
like what Sam did in the series, and
Right.
they laughed at him.
Right. Or like a
I
stewardship.
feel like the way in which the world is, it'd be too easy for people to get the shits and go no. Like when someone wins the throne by conquest,
Right.
they've earned the respect and everything. But if a bunch of people just keep getting voted in each time,
Someone would
who's
overthrow him.
well, yeah, I mean, who controls the votes? The maesters. Okay, that means that
Yeah.
the High
Yeah.
Towers once again are now the most powerful
Yeah.
people in the realm. Like, I think the only way that it ends is either ends in destruction, marriage, like
Mhm.
lots of marriage pacts, and I think the one way to assure everyone chills the fuck out is essentially, if you're gonna have everyone in different regions, everyone gets a dragon egg when they go into it.
Yeah, but what does that do if you don't have Targaryen blood or Valerian blood?
Nothing.
Nothing.
All right, you get the dragon egg and one night with Jon Snow.
I don't want it.
I know he does have enough skills. No. And if you do like let's say a stewardship in the reconstruction phase, and then like a council rule where you have, the North represented, the Reach, the Dorne, this and that, Old Town will somehow rise up over that. You're gonna have too many factions coming out of that. You have the Faith, the Maesters, and the High Towers. So you can't really, like, a council wouldn't work.
Assuming that Euron wipes out Old Town,
Mhm.
and then something happens with King's Landing, the two major powers of the cities they're gone. King's Landing's been completely decimated. Old Town's gone. Well, what's next? I guess everyone gets together and rebuilds Harrenhal,
Mhm.
and that becomes a new capital, and there's a new thing from there.
Right.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm sorry, and I'll go to you, Mason. Real quick, 11 Alpha says the bells are trigger as the bells as a trigger was something. Yeah, GRRM told D&D. Since that does not really make sense for Dany, it's possible. Yeah, John Connington is the one who goes crazy. Yeah, I'm with you on that. We've talked about that on the channel, where Dany might get blamed because John Con has grayscale, so it starts messing with your mind as an adult, and B, the bells will remind him of losing Robert, which lost him, Rhaegar in the long run. So definitely. Skirt, what's Gucci, my ninjas? That's Mad Cheesemo stealing my line. I'm a YouTuber's YouTuber though, so I don't mind him doing that. What were you gonna say, Mason?
Yeah, I think that like all of this, like people are going to be disillusioned with the system at hand, is going to be why Jon Snow has to take the throne. He's going to be very reluctant about it. He's going to have like nothing left. The dragons are probably going to die. His ghost might be gone at this point. I hope not. R.I.P.
Like John even
But
cares. He didn't pet that good
it's gonna be
boy.
him surrounded by a bunch of people that like just hate him and want to subvert him. But he's gonna have to take it to hold the system together, because
Mhm.
without it, you're gonna go right back to a bunch of different kingdoms trying to war and conquer each other.
Yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
and this kind of goes with the bittersweet, what that really
Yeah.
might mean. So it's not code for everyone dies.
Yeah.
But it might mean like sacrifice that preserves something worth living in. Lives saved at the price of an innocence, unity achieved with lingering ghosts. Um, except it's preserved through song and warped histories again because it's written by people. The maesters will smooth the rough edges and make sure it goes the way they want. Bards will turn it into legend. But what is the real victory, and at what cost?
Everything.
Yeah. What could be the bittersweet thing? Someone saves the realm, but we lose that person.
Yeah.
Some of the heroes save and lose the throne. Save people, lose magic. Like, what could it be?
So
Exactly.
everyone dies, and the last thing is they're coming after Bran, and Bran has no option but just to keep walking back in time and trying to tell people what to do, and it's literally this big cyclical thing where it's inevitable. So he's going back, he's giving, because who knows if what they do with Aegon and everything, giving everyone the visions of what to do to try and defeat these guys earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and then you realize that. Okay, now that he's gone, now that he's said and got back, things have changed slightly, so it gives hope.
Yeah.
That'll be bittersweet.
Yeah.
Where like they lose, but because of all the timey-wimey stuff that Bran can do, somehow they still win. Or inadvertently in that, when they're saying, what do you have to do? He actually utters the line, burn them all, when he was talking about the whites. But unfortunately, when he was walking, he walked into the Mad King at the time.
Right.
So he heard burn them all, and then that got stuck with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's all Bran's fault the entire time.
Yeah. It could be.
Wow.
It could be. We know Bran can affect effectively go to the past and someone can hear him. His father does. We see it from Ned's point of view when he's cleaning his sword in front of the weirwood tree. It's just a rustle in the wind, and he kind of looks up. Who's there? Is someone there? And then we find out it was actually Bran. Many months later after his death, through the tree. So there's a lot that can happen. Yeah. Let me read it.
I don't think we can have a typical everyone lives happily ever after style ending, because it's not going to end as we know it from the world. It's just going to go on to the next dynasty, whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm.
When Valyria was around for so long, and then it wasn't. It
Yeah.
moved on. Maybe the same thing happens with Westeros.
But what I wonder, this just popped in my head. It might be something good. Wow. George in the last book, maybe the last two books, anytime he's in Essos, really, in the last few books, we've been hearing about like what is it? The elephants and the rhinos in Volantis, I think it is. Like, and their power struggle, because one group rules and the other one doesn't, but then there's a vote
between
like
the merchants and those and the tigers,
right.
and yeah.
Is he tigers? That's right. Is he giving us all that? Which is like, why is he telling us all that? Because something like that may be the outcome in Westeros. They'll model it after something to that effect, which we see may work, may not work. I don't know.
Or they could be the ones that are left.
Yeah, maybe. I asked, give us the ending in one line. And Christopher says grayscale, other invasion, more civil war, long night, Euron, eldritch horror. I think it's a proper Armageddon, nothing like the show, no one on the throne at the end. It's rubble and a few survivors. Okay. And then we got, it's better. Adam Price, what's up, dude? He goes, it's better go harder than the show. The others deserve better. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that'd be crazy if he did like a Twilight Zone episode.
Mm.
Like, oh, John was the last hero, Dany was Azor Ahai, or the prince that was promised, or and
Mhm.
and it's just like the cycle starts over again. The others go back to the north, and
Yep.
they have to rebuild Westeros.
It's almost like the others may be that like you get to a certain pinnacle and they come and destroy you. And
Yeah,
then
Yeah, it's like the Reapers in Mass Effect.
yeah.
and that would explain why they're like they haven't moved ahead technologically,
Right.
kind of stuck in the medieval period.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, a lot of people thought this might be like a post-apocalyptic story.
Oh yeah,
And there's no magic. It's actually like telekinesis and stuff like that. Another Preston Jacob kind of theory. But I could see it being like we always talk about the platform that the towers on the high towers tower is on. It's that black stone. The chair in the Iron Islands. We see like these old, I don't know, partial things like that are from the past because only stone will last. Like
Well, it's
maybe
not necessarily like the Driftmark chair. That
Yeah.
was found
yes.
as
Yeah,
well.
that
Like
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Could it be that there was like, I mean, you have the Great Empire of the Dawn, of course, but was there something even before that? Or, after did the Great Empire get even to a higher heights, but we're only hearing about it because it's such an ancient civilization, like Egypt and stuff like that, where we're kind of trying to piece together what really happened. So
well, it could be that, and also the whole idea of like what you're saying about society being wiped out periodically. It would make sense. You've had the
Mhm.
Starks in Winterfell for 1,000 years. Where are the rest of them?
Yeah.
Like people assuming that everyone has, or I mean, they're having more than one kid back then.
Right.
Are we to assume that all of them died off? Basically, like they should be, the population should be booming,
Yeah.
but
I
it's
mean,
not.
well, in the North, you have a valid point. I mean, there are the Karstarks that broke off and other people married into other families, but you're right. The North never seems to populate, but that also could be because of the harsh winters. You know, just generations of kids don't make it through.
So that's assuming that it's killing off more than are being born.
Right. Well, they do say like there's been winters where, people they never see the spring, through their whole life. Um, that's an old Nan type legend, but she's always right. So I don't know.
It could also be a thing where, like, if it does repeat, it's not over thousands of years; it's only every couple of hundred years. But
Right.
the fact of the matter is, who's there to tell the history?
Yeah.
We know of the history of what happened, basically to Old Valyria, and past, and so we've got 300 years past in. But like, even the stuff that happened around Aegon's time, we don't really know anything of that. Like, and no one can actually be certain. That's the thing. Like,
Right.
even with the like the Dance of the Dragons and everything, that's only going back 100-something years, and they
Right.
have no idea which is true and what's not.
Right. And all we have is who wrote it.
Yeah,
The winners, the winners wrote it. And the people writing those, histories know that they need to write it a certain way because if not, the Targaryens might have came down on them that survived. So that's what I'm saying. How I love how he writes. Like you have to take
well,
all that into consideration.
what happened to the Targaryens?
Yeah.
The ones that were on Dragonstone, I mean. They were there for 100 years after Valyria.
Yeah, I always wondered about that. Like there was no, Summerhall happened to kill most of them off. Like that George did on purpose so that there was only a few of them left. But like, what about the ones that married into other families?
I'm saying, what about the ones that left Old Valyria?
Well, I've wondered about that too. When Aegon comes over, like we hear there's
Here,
100 years between.
there's only 3 of them. Yeah, they
Right.
basically state there's only 3 of them.
Right.
Too many
Like,
sister
what-
wives.
Yeah, what happened to his parents, like cousins, anything? Like, yes, there's one family that comes over onto Dragonstone, but they have Dany the Dreamer and other kids. Like, where are those branch families? That is a valid question. Somebody killed them off. I don't know. Listless Receptionist says it'll end Blackfire, Dragon Rider, Carnage, and then Lemon Cakes. I like that. Christy Angel saying Bran has to breach the 3rd taboo rule. Yep. And maybe have sex in Hodor's body. Yeah. But definitely has to mate with Arya as Nymeria, more than likely in his wolf form. Think that played into the first long night. So the breaking of those taboos. I mean, we do find that things that even though, yeah, they're taboo,
Well, he's already
but there's a
broken.
real reason. Like, like
I was going to say Bran and Arya both have broken one of the taboos about eating flesh.
yeah. Well, it's man flesh though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if did Arya do that through an animal?
Through I'm sure she did that, didn't she?
I mean, there's this super wolf pack, so I don't know.
So Bran has eaten
Yes.
man flesh.
Jojen.
His wolf and twice just like normally.
Yeah.
There's Cold Hands gives him some meat in the woods when there's nothing around.
Yeah, we don't know what it was.
It's probably dead rangers.
Yep.
But Arya has just broken it in her wolf. Like Nymeria's eaten soldiers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. And what's gonna happen with the wolf pack? I mean, that has to come in. Like, think the Dothraki coming at, somebody charging, and all of a sudden a massive super wolf pack led by a dire wolf comes at them. That'd be
They come from the south, and Stannis comes from the north to get Winterfell.
Yeah.
I kind of think that either Nymeria will either sense Ghost or Ghost soul in Jon's body when he's attacking Ramsay, and that she'll come and help him, kind of like in the show how the Vale Knights kind of show up at the end.
Yeah.
And win them. I think that's going to be the wolf pack.
That'd be kind of cool because, like,
I don't even think.
Actually,
is he going to make it past Stannis though?
No, that's the thing. I don't think the bastard battles are going to. I don't even think they're going to interact. I'd be surprised. I don't see any way that Ramsay and Jon will even interact.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all Ramsay has to do is just stay inside Winterfell. He's probably not going to go out and try and fight.
Well, he's also done a lot of damage. Winterfell isn't somewhere where you can actually really stay now because he smashed all the glass in the greenhouses.
Mm-hmm.
He's salted and tore up all the gardening. So like they've got no rules. If they do like a war of attrition, they're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
They brought some supplies with them, and now they're going to get rid of
they're kicking
a couple
out.
thousand mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you send out Manderly, you send out the dudes at the Twins,
the
phrase, thank you. And then Ramsay too, he sends him out. So, and I think Stannis is going to win that battle. I mean, he's planning for it with the drilling of the holes and making them think the village is, over onto the lake, because no one's going to be able to see the freaking snow's piled so high. I think I don't know if he'll be able to take Winterfell or not, but
yeah, I kind of think that it's going to end up like a stalemate. Like Stannis is going to win the battle and then not be able to not have enough troops to attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Jon's going to have to come down after he gets brought back.
Yeah.
Assuming he does.
What
He's got to come back. Like, I don't know how you could finish the series without Jon.
I didn't think we could finish the series without Ned Stark. You know what I mean? Like, God, he really throws you for a loop sometimes. I love that guy. I really just want him to finish it. 3 taboos of warging. I just want to see if it's forcibly taking another person, or is it okay? Warging into humans. Let's see. It's considered unnatural and abhorrent for a warg to take control of another human's body. We got Varamir Sixskins tries to do it, and that chick goes crazy. The only in most extreme situations, like you're close to death, might a skin changer attempt it, and even then it's seen as monstrous. So I don't know if like someone says you could take over my body, if it would be taboo, but I'm guessing it's still considered that. And then eating human flesh or indulging dark impulses while bonded. And then prolonged possession after death, second life as a substitute. It's taboo to cling unnaturally to life by forcing one's spirit into an animal after your own body dies. What? Many skin changers fail when they attempt this. Those who succeed, like Verumin briefly does, are seen as unnatural and cursed. I thought one of the things is you do bond with your animal after death. Yeah.
Like Ned with that pigeon.
Right. He is definitely in a pigeon, dude. He is definitely in a pigeon. Do we know anything about the Valerians and Celtigars before the Doom? Maybe they are Targaryen collateral lines, too unattended to be dragon riders. Well,
yeah, go
we
ahead.
definitely know they've married in. I mean, even in the dance, we see the Valerians have the queen that never was, who could have ended the war after she came up through.
You mean the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
something like
the Celtigars are. So even like before the Doom, they were like a very, very low house.
right.
They didn't really care about the purity, so they just intermingled with all the other like Westerosi
Yeah.
people. The Valerians were a low noble house, so they like valued the pure Valerian blood, but they weren't dragon riders. And then the
Right.
Targaryens were the lowest dragon riding house.
Yeah. The Valerians didn't become dragon riders till Rhaenys married into it. Yeah.
Were they always black?
I don't know. I mean, most likely, you know. I think Starks will be warging into dragons. There is, Brand strong enough to be a skin changer. So warging, I know you already probably know this, Adam. I'm just letting other people that are new to the series. Warging is only with a dire wolf or wolf. Skin changing is different type of animals. Wow, we had 64 people come through X, so thank you guys. Let's see. I think the Valerians and Celtigars were basically allies with Aegon from before. Like, sure, bro, we'll go with you. Yeah. Yeah. When Dany the Dreamer had her vision, the Celtigards had nothing to lose. They hitched their ride with the Valerians, or I'm sorry, the Targaryens. And also the Targaryens, they were a noble house, but they weren't one of the high noble houses. I don't think they were considered low, but they weren't like one of the what are they called, the people that ruled Valeria? They weren't part of that council. Something to that effect. Levin Alpha says, I was just wondering if there were other houses like Baratheon that might have started as essentially lesser Targaryen lines, since you were asking about other Targaryens. Yeah, the Baratheons, I mean, most likely he was a half brother of Aegon. He was a bastard. So, I mean, that definitely is Targaryens. And only the male line was ended that we know of the Blackfires. The female line wasn't. You also have different Targaryens that just went off and we don't know what happened with them. So I'm wondering, yeah, there has to be Targaryens all over the place. Maybe they don't even know they are, though. I don't know. Zax is in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. I don't know. I guess we could wrap it up, though. You guys think we could wrap it up? I think we're there.
Yeah,
I
whatever you
think
want to
so.
do, bud.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I have a good ending, so let me say it. Hold on. I wrote it
Ooh.
somewhere. I like writing stuff now. Thanks for joining the Worldcon. Wait a minute. Do I have an echo on this thing? I think I do. Hold on. Is it this one? Hello? Hello? No? Hello? Oh, no.
Baby voice? Baby voice? Okay, I'll do that. All right. Thank you for joining the Worldcon Showdown.
Like, subscribe, comment when we're done. Come back and comment for the algorithm. Follow everybody on the panel, social media. Maybe next week we can go over what, guys? What, you know what should we cover next week on the stream? Come back after the stream is over and comment on the video and let us know what you guys think. Where should we end it? I did pretty good. Anybody else? I freaking lost. I can't see anybody because I lost it. Where is it?
Where's he gone?
I can't see anything. Yeah, this ain't working. Oh, there it is. Hey, okay. Yeah. Maester Aemon talked about his sister's children, so there should be 2 collateral female lines somewhere about with their husbands' names. Yeah, there definitely is. Thank you guys. I am killing this ending. Tina, where are you going to be?
I am going to be hopefully back here on Thursday for Aluminum Spork, and
Yes.
then again on Vinny Art's channel on Friday for the Friday Underground. And then you will see us again on Vinny's channel Sunday night as we continue season 5 of Dexter.
Vinny's bookmark. Okay, yeah. And I believe on Thursday we are going to end with we're going to be streaming and talking about it's time for archaeology and academia to wake up to ancient humans go back way farther than just 200,000 years. There seems to be way more proof than ever that we could be even 500,000 years old. Mason, where are you going to be?
Yeah, I'll be here next week. You can check out my channel at Free Folk Fandom. I'm trying to find some stuff to do videos on. Yeah. If you want me to cover something, you can just comment on there. Tell me.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
we all need to tell him that he needs to watch the Ironheart series on Disney Plus because I hear it's the best MCU series they've done so far.
No. Curse the Angel. I believe I have Discord. I just don't remember. I think it's Sporking News. I never know how to navigate Discord. I'm so old. And Mr. Grant Gregory.
Yeah, so I'll be back here next week. We'll be doing some maybe we'll do a Family Feud game. So see if we can get a few more on the panel. We'll do a Song of Ice and Fire Family Feud. Based on I'll start putting up some questions during the week and see what people would like, and we can go from there.
All right, man. All right, it's one word, Sporking News Podcast. That's my Discord. I didn't know that. I don't know my login though. Okay. Thank you guys once again. I had a lot of fun. If you're liking how the streams have been going, let me know because I am prepping a lot more. And if it's not worth me prepping, I won't do it. I'll just come and wing it like usual. But I'm trying. So once again, come back, share this out, comment. It'll help us out. And we'll close out with something a little different. We'll go with the intro once again, different Crossroads intro because I don't know which one this is. And if it shows Nerdrotic, he wasn't on the panel. Good night, everybody.